Welcome everybody to another Let's Play. I'm number 12 and today I'm playing Dwarf Fortress. More specifically the Lazy Noob pack, which comes installed with a bunch of pretty nice add-ons. Although I'm only using the Sound Sense one, which you might be able to hear in the background, and the Dwarf Therapist, which is a very useful and very easy to use graphical interface. I will show you why I'm going to use that instead of the in-game one. We're going to start a new fortress today in region 3. I already created this region with the pretty much standard parameters. We have a short history of 125 years so far, which has been happening automatically, and it's a medium world with plenty of beasts, I think. So let's dive right in and try to find a decent spot to settle. While the game has been is loading, I'm gonna tell you that I actually wanted to make a Dwarf Fortress Let's Play for quite a while, but have never been able to do it because Fraps doesn't record Dwarf Fortress so well. In fact, it doesn't until you change some settings. So I've been trying to record, and I've actually been trying to record that as my very first Let's Play ever. But Fraps doesn't do it, so I kind of abandoned the idea. And yeah, I didn't really bother looking into it further until recently a friend gave me the Lazy Noob pack, and I tried it and decided, hey, I might actually look into making a Let's Play of this again. I mean, Dwarf Fortress is one of the games I've played since a few years and I really loved. I loved the original, I loved the Masterwork edition, although that doesn't seem to love me very much. And yeah, so I looked it up and I looked at the numbertwelve games forum, where you can pick up Dwarf Fortress for free, by the way. And it said, hey, why aren't you using the in-game recording function? And I thought to myself, I'm an idiot, I could have asked that earlier. And so I tried the in-game function, and I was thrilled because the in-game function put out a video that was like 3 megabyte or so, which would have been a perfect size even if I added the, don't know, 2 megabyte of audio onto that. However, there was one tiny little problem. I could not open it properly, because the Dwarf Fortress in-game recording function gives you a file that is, I think, a CMV file or something, which is nothing a normal editor can work with, sadly. So I couldn't record in that either. And then I finally, after almost, I don't know, half a year of not recording Dwarf Fortress, I eventually looked into asking Google how to do it, and it gave me a video tutorial on YouTube, where the very simple step to recording Dwarf Fortress with Fraps was shown. And with that being said, here we are playing Dwarf Fortress and recording it. Okay, we have very few trees, which is not that great. And we have Badlands. Okay, I'm not overly keen on Badlands, but I suppose we don't really have a choice here. Actually, we do. I could just move over there. We have savanna and grasslands. They're temperate, so it's warm. Okay, what am I looking for here? I'm mostly looking for a place that doesn't have an aquifer. River is nice, but not needed. Es- Uh, but we can certainly live with at least one river tile nearby. I would have liked shallow metals as well, but I guess deep metals are fine too. The Flugstone is a fine thing. We don't necessarily need it because I'm not sure we even have iron to use it. Flugstone is used to turn iron into steel, which is a vastly superior material for weapons and armor, as you should know. And you definitely want some of that if you have iron. Okay, so we don't have an aquifer, we don't have shallow metals, so we'll have to dig quite a bit to get to the metals, but that's okay. We have a few trees, which is, well, less than I would have liked, but I think I can't change that right now. I'm too lazy to search another place, so let's try our luck here. Yes, I want to what? Salt water? Why is there salt water? Okay. No, I don't want to embark there, because salt water, quite frankly, sucks. I hate salt water. I'm also yawning because I'm a bit tired. Okay, so we have deep minerals, we have a heavily forested area, which is pretty cool. We have a mountain here. Mountains are always lovely. Okay, let's try this. Would have expected some actual metals here, but why the hell not? Okay, so we'll embark here. This is no salt water. And we can use one of those predefined profiles or just use one of those I made. We probably don't have cave lobster. And no quivers. Okay, so I'm gonna get some other quivers. Just let's use. It looks like we have a rather polar civilization. We have snowy owl and polar bear quivers. But for now we'll go with turkey leather because that's something every civilization should have access to. Also, we need some more meat. Well, I guess I'll take the grey langur meat, which is probably tasty. Okay, aside of that we have some pigs, some axes, some ale, some seeds, and some medical supplies, as well as some plants to use. We also bring some, I think, 2 pigs, a male and a female, and 2 cats, 2 male cats, a couple of dogs, so 1 war dog and 1 couple of normal untrained dogs, as well as a ton of birds. Skill-wise, I brought a miner and a few other skills, so I'll show you. Let's see what the fortress is named. Cobalt Stoked. Let Mosguzgash. Ah, that doesn't sound nice. Boot Races. Ah. Tangle Cudgel, no. Pink Shield, no. Truss Glaze, no. Ball Wheel. So silly. Okay, let's call the fortress Sculpted Hammers. I wonder if we can make a sculpture of a hammer. So let's use that and embark. I've already wasted 10 minutes with this, so let's see what the fortress has in store for us. You have arrived. After a journey from the mountain homes into the forbidding wilderness beyond, your harsh trek has finally ended. Your party of 7 is to make an outpost for the glory of Olive Ikumonon. There are almost no supplies left, but with stout labor comes sustenance. Whether by bolt, plow or hook, provide for your dwarves. You're expecting a supply caravan just before the winter entombs you. But it is spring now. Enough time to delve secure lodgings ere the leopards get hungry. A new chapter of dwarven history begins, here at this place, Aranil, Skalpotamos. Strike the earth! So we know there are leopards in here. Leopards, I don't know what it's properly spelled in English, sorry. Yeah, so this text tells you what kind of dangers you have to expect here. And that's a pretty nice thing to know. Especially because sometimes it makes you want to immediately abandon your fortress again, like if you have giant eagles or something in that area. Although those do make pretty great war animals. Okay, so this is our fortress. We have embarked with a wagon, which is here. You don't really see that. It also holds all our stores, as well as the animals we brought with us. This is the Badlands section of the map, I suppose. Okay. This is some generally mountainy section. Those ponds here are probably not going to last forever, because we have embarked in a warm climate, and that means the water in here is probably going to slowly fizzle away. The river is infinite though. Do we have any fish in here? It looks like we have. Let's see what we got here. It's a river otter. Well, that's not a fish, but we can take that too. Let's also see what we have creature-wise. Here we have 3 ravens and a river otter. That's gonna change soon. Also, something I find kinda hilarious is the dead missing section. No one has gone missing or died. The year is still young. So yes, it is prophetic. There is still plenty of time for people to go dying or missing. Also, let me show you the Dwarf Therapist and why it is so useful. I can't show you the Dwarf Therapist because Fraps doesn't record it, but if I want to change this guy's jobs, I have to press V, then select him, then press P, L, okay, I was in that menu now, then choose the job I want him to have with the plus and minus on the numpad, and then select those jobs. In this case I want him to be plant gathering. Then I can escape to get back and resume on my merry way. In the Dwarf Therapist, the same amount of the very same task can be achieved with a single click, which is quite an improvement over the rather lengthy and annoying way of assigning tasks via the in-game program. Well, the in-game interface, which is, let's say it as it is, which is pretty poor in some cases. You can see here the hotkeys for each thing. Oops. Those are pretty useful. Most of them are useful. I have never used some of them, to be honest, so I have no idea what some of them do. But let's not talk about that further, and let's get right to digging, because that's what we're here for. I want a downward stairway, then an up down stairway over here and a few levels down. And we're already at the 15-minute mark. So I'm gonna call the episode here because we just get started with our fortress. And I'll see you in a moment. Until then, bye.